What's going on, gamers? It's finally that time again. With 5 weeks left in the season starting tomorrow's reset, time to start prepping for Lightfall. That includes weapon crafting, farming for high stat armor and dungeon, and getting those last minute materials that you need in your inventory so that you don't have to worry about anything when it comes to the new content. And of course, that also means that great activity that is bounty prepping. We all love that. Yes, we do. For those of you that are new to the game or returning players, or you just looking for some tips and you don't know what bounty prepping is, let me explain to you why people do it. In a nutshell, bounty prepping is storing completed bounties that count for XP, and you save those bounties for the sole reason of getting a head start in not only the season pass, but also getting a head start in the new artifact that comes out. As a content creator, it's my job to get to the last column fast as possible and unlock those mods and kind of show people what they do for certain builds, guides, and certain subclasses. And holding bounties and bringing them into next season helps me out in doing that. If there's one website that can help you with tracking the bounties that you've done so far leading up to Lightfall, it's called Destiny Recipes. This website also tells you how much XP you have stored and factors the small buff that you get from the Ghost Shell mod, XP boost, and shared wisdom, and so on once you hit level 5. Speaking of websites, I also wanted to show you a website called engram.blue/crafting. The website basically allows you to track all the weapons you have crafted in the game currently and tells you which weapons you need patterns for. The website's really cool. It was just shown to me, so I wanted you guys to check it out when Lightfall comes out. And all the season weapons in the past year will be getting vaulted, and you will not be able to get the patterns for them anymore. Unless Bungie puts the gun in just a regular drop pool in the game, we'll have to wait for future updates. So I highly recommend that you use this website to track what weapon patterns you still need and get the crafting before Lightfall comes out. This will be a long one, gamers, so I'll have the video timestamped so you can skip to certain parts if you need certain information. First big thing you should try and worry about, I feel that needs to be addressed, is the aspect of many players not having enough materials and currency when going into the next big DLC. Like what's going to be happening with Lightfall. Allow me to explain a small currency that has a big impact when you want to upgrade your gear when you get into the game. Let's say you have a really good stat exotic for your Titan and want to upgrade it all the way to level 10. For the sake of extreme example, this is why I'm showing an exotic. But if you want to upgrade a legendary, it's not less of a cost than what an exotic is. But I wanted to explain why I'm showing an exotic as an example here. From levels 1 to 5, you will be spending glimmer and legendary shards to upgrade the item. From 6 to 7, you will be spending glimmer, legendary shards, and enhancement cores. From 8 to 9, you will be spending glimmer, legendary shards, and prisms. And for the final upgrade for level 10, you will spend glimmer, legendary shards, ascendant shards, as the community calls them, golf balls. Now, spending all those materials sounds very costly, but if you end up farming a lot using the tips and tricks in this video, you'll end up getting annoyed with how much ascendant shards will continuously drop. The general key is in farming these ascendant shards in a few ways. The most consistent way is to farm GMs when it's double Nightfall drops. Hint, hint, last day to do it this week. Other than that, you'll have to farm GMs or Nightfalls any way you possibly can. Nightfalls also have the highest drop chance of these Ascendant Shards, but sometimes you might not be able to do them because you might say, hey, it requires me to play with a team and I'm a solo player. No, I'm not going to do it. But while you can play this game as solo, it's okay. I literally encourage people to join other players and play together in group farm just because you need Ascendant Shards or you need exotics. Other players need that too. And now I'm going to plug the Discord. My Discord has over 36,000 people in it that play the game on a regular basis, time to time, using daily LFGs, and it's great. So hop on in there, drop some messages, and find some people to play with on your day one grind in Lightfall. Now that that's out the way, let's get back to the prep guide. As I was saying before, running GMs when they are available are going to be your best strat for getting a high amount of Ascendant Shards to drop. For some reason, if you are not the GM requirement, or you're a little intimidated by the GMs, you can also run Master Nightfalls as well, but you do have to understand that it does have some annoying modifiers you might have to deal with. What's also extremely nice is that you are farming for Ascendant Shards, you'll also end up getting enhancement prisms to drop as well, so you're basically knocking out 2 birds, 1 stone from farming that activity, while you're getting 2 major inventory materials that you'll need going into Lightfall. With those 2 core material items now covered, one of the most important final inventory items you will need to make sure you have enough is crafting materials. Bungie stated a few twabs ago that you will not be able to store red borders in your vault unless it has a pattern. So basically, they will cap us at 10,000 materials saved up, so you can only save certain red frames in your vault. There's really no efficient way to get red borders to drop besides playing the game, Bungie did just state in the most recent TWAB, red border drops have been buffed in raids and dungeons. So if you wanted to unlock those patterns, here's your shot, and also stack additional red frames in your vault so you have materials. Make sure when you're also completing a red border and dismantle it, please understand that you do get 300 crafted materials from it. So if you do not complete it, you will only get 100. If you complete it, then dismantle it, you will get 300 crafted materials. Just even though it takes longer, if you get a red border to drop, you should stop what you're doing, go and complete the red border or put it on at the end of activities to extract that 300 so that you can craft weapons that you currently need now or save those element materials for Lightfall. Now we start getting into the nitty gritty of why you're here, how to properly bounty prep, what you need to understand the difference between repeatables, dailies, and weeklies. Everything is divided up how much XP the bounty will give when you complete it and decide to complete the bounty. A repeatable bounty will only give you around 3,000 XP for when you pop it. A daily bounty will give you 6,000 XP when completed, and finally a weekly bounty will give you 12,000 XP when you complete it. Another critical piece of information here is that some places you can grab more than 2 weeklies over the course of a couple weeks. So now comes the list of all weekly bounties that you can grab over the upcoming weeks. Remember, you can come back to some of these planets over the coming weeks and grab another weekly bounty, so please remember that. Starting with one of the most important planets to grab weekly bounties is Dreaming City. When you go to Petra in the Dreaming City, you can pick up 2 weekly bounties. One of the bounties is Blind Well, where you can go in and complete levels of Blind Well to achieve the weekly bonus, and also the Ascendant Challenge that week. The Dreaming City is one of those planets you can come back to and grab weekly bounties after each reset. There is 6 total Ascendant Challenges and 1 Blind Well. The next big planet that you'll have to worry about coming back to is Europa. When you go to Varix, you will be grabbing 2 bounties. One of those bounties will be completing patrols in Lost Sector. The other bounty will be tied to completing the Empire Hunt that's active for that week. All you have to do is complete that Empire Hunt that week and get precision kills. This also rotates 3 weeks, so there will be 4 total weekly bounties on Europa. So make sure you're going back to visit Europa and getting those 4 weeklies. Next, we're going to talk about clan bounties. If you're in a clan and you play with people, and you have an even better opportunity to bounty prep because you are able to grab up to 8 clan bounties for each character. The bounties involve doing activities with your clan members such as Crucible, Gambit, Nightfalls, even raids. A lot of people consider these bounties to be the most time consuming for a bunch of reasons. You particularly need to go play 30 Gambit games or 30 Crucible games. So just remember that each of these bounties is 12,000 XP and it's 8 of them per character. So the XP does adds up. Besides those, we like to call weekly repeatable bounties. There are not even more that you have to worry about week over week. But that does not stop you, meaning that there is another weekly bounties in the game. In fact, there are 2 different sets of weekly bounties that you can pick up on the moon. One set of those bounties can be picked up from Eris. Yes, 2 weekly Eris bounties. They will never rotate, but they do give XP. Trust me, I've kept them for years. Some people say they do, but these definitely do. It will have you complete lost sectors around the moon, and the other bounty you pick up will have you complete waves of Altars of Sorrow. Next, you can pick up 2 more additional weekly bounties in the area that is called the Lectern of Enchantment, and it's located right next to Eris. These bounties can easily be completed by just completing the Nightmare Hunts activities located on the moon, and usually takes around 2 or 3 full completions to get these 2 bounties done. Next area that you'll be visiting for weekly bounties is the Cosmodrome. You'll be visiting Mr. Shah Han, and the 2 bounties you get from him, you're getting kills with arc, solar, and void weapons. The other weekly bounty you will complete is public events. Usually takes 2 heroic events to complete this bounty. After you're done with one character for the week, you can fill in the rest of your bounties with dailies. Not repeatable bounties, but dailies. Those will be the 4 bounties at each vendor, or 3 depending on which vendor you go to. The current daily bounties do not get the repeatables because the dailies give you 6,000 XP. Repeatables only give you 3,000. Remember, we're trying to get you the most optimal XP for next season. Anyways, don't want to waste no more of your time. I'm getting ready for Lightfall. Hopefully you are too. I hope this guide helped you guys out in your efforts. If you guys have any more additional questions for me about anything in this video or on a particular topic, please leave a comment and I'll be happy to answer then. I'm going to start paying attention to YouTube comments more and helping you guys out because I do appreciate the support, and we're driving to 100K, so I appreciate it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Don't forget to sub. Peace.